Jay Bravo, I am so glad to have you here today. I love your energy. I love so many of your messages, maybe not all of them. I don't agree with all of them, but that's okay. We don't have to, and we can still love each other.
Mm-hmm. We're this definitely, ladies and gentlemen, boys and squirrels, this show will be amazing because we are going to argue, and I am excited in a loving way. We only talked for a couple seconds, but we're just going with it. But thank you.
Well, I want to start with what I think seems to be like one of your biggest messages, because and this is where we probably won't argue, sorry, but I'm sure
Okay.
we'll figure something out as we move forward. But you talk a lot about people starting their own businesses.
Mm-hmm.
No matter how much you're making when you're working for somebody else, it's a velvet handcuff. It really doesn't matter. There are restrictions and limitations around what you can do. But my message is always to be as independent and self-sufficient as possible. And so here we are. I just started I've been a company within a company for a bunch of years, but the company that I'm doing now, Lynette Zang or Zang Enterprises, is new. The channel is new. Everything is new. So why don't you talk a little bit about that and let's see where we go.
Well, I just think working for someone is soul sucking. If people could go to the other side, see, if you've always clocked in and clocked out, you really don't know. But if you have your own stuff that you love doing, after a few years, if you have your own show, you're making your own money, you have your own businesses, and then someone's like, "Hey, I'll hire you to create my dreams and to build my lifestyle, and you'll be my passive income." It just I can't. I taught for I think 20 some odd years. And I would do it for free. Same thing at university. I was also a youth pastor, and I'm like, I'll do it for free. Do not pay me. The minute they tried to pay me, I said no. And then they said, you'll have to step down because we need to control you. So I've just never been, I've always done everything either A for free or because my businesses generate income and I would like just to do whatever I want to do. So yeah, my life is always telling people start a business. Well, I don't know what to do, Jay Bravo, and I'm like, wash windows. I don't care. The guy who cleans my windows makes $500, and he does two a day. He makes $1,000 a day, and he accepts Bitcoin. So like, and some cash. So like, oh, what taxes? And again, like I teach people how to start business on Amazon. I did that in the high school. I would tell my high school students to sell candy. They were making $150 a day. One of my students started a watch company. It was called Movement Watches. He just sold it for 300 million. I mean, just over and over. It's like, and so I come onto a channel and I say, don't worry about all the nonsense. Have a business, move money, live your life. It's short. It goes by very quick. So yes, I love and I love that now you're off. You're doing your own thing, and that's exciting. So I totally support that. Congratulations. It's tough too. It's nice when you know.
Is it really
But
tough? Because truthfully, I'm not wearing any more velvet handcuffs.
yeah.
So it's actually not so tough. And I'm going to tell everybody because, I get this question a lot, but I'm just going to say velvet handcuffs, and you have to live your passion. So when
Mhm.
I talk to people about starting their own business, or I'm looking to add community members to this business,
Yeah.
what I'm always looking for is people with a passion in the area that I need help with. So they are really independent, and we have a very sharing kind of relationship.
Hmm.
But so for somebody that's looking to start a business, what are you passionate about? I was groomed for this moment in time, so I am 100% living my passion and living my mission in this world, and I think that's what people need to find. Then you're never really working. I mean, I'm not saying I don't work my butt off, but I love it. I'm very passionate about it. I'm passionate about the community that we're building. So this is really great stuff, and it helps you be as independent and
Hmm.
self-sufficient as possible, which in these days and age is critical, because we talked a lot, or you've talked on your channel about what's happening in the economy, with
Mhm.
real estate, with the markets, etc. So is there something there that you want to bring up for people to pay more attention to?
I would say, people say, oh, follow your passion, dream. I don't know. I mean, I hella love YouTube. I mean, this is great. Like I have found what I like doing, but at the end of the day, like I can go back to say washing windows. Even if you don't like it, I don't care. Go wash windows. Hire people to wash windows. There is, again, I teaching high school. Everyone is trained. They're institutionalized to work 8 hours, clock in, clock out. You'll get a grade. Blah blah blah. There's so many people that will then wash windows, and you pay them, and you expand, and then you don't have to wash windows anymore. It's passive income. So, I'm fortunate enough and blessed enough that I can do YouTube. This is just I'm beyond excited. And then going from high school or teaching university, I have on my online courses where I teach people how to start businesses and move money. I have almost 40,000 students, which is just like, that's amazing.
Mhm.
And I that's what I did, where I had to clock in and clock out. And then I took that and I'm like, hey, I can do this online. So definitely, if you can do something passive income, do it online. I don't care. That's the best because it's passive income. If it's not, just again, wash windows, start, like I don't know, create sell little like make little plastic things like this is fine. And sell this on Amazon to make 20 grand a month. I mean, the people that go through my courses, it's almost mind-boggling. People are like, no way. And then I have their numbers and I can click on software and say, no, this is exactly, they're making $125,000 a month selling a red phone. I mean, the stupidest things, or like gold. Yeah, not real gold, but fake, like something as stupid as this, right? Do you have one of these? No, or do you
Oh,
have the like
I have
fake?
one of these, but
Oh, okay. Right. And it's like, where do you
actually chocolate.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sell gold chocolate. Whatever. Yeah, I got that. I mean, I have the real stuff too. I got that. And there's the
Yeah, we
gold.
like the real stuff the best.
We got real gold, real silver. There we go. But
So
now what you're not going to like is I've been selling.
I know that's just where I was going.
See,
Now,
you should have started this. See, you're going to want to delete everything that I just said and start with now let's get into it.
all right, let's get into it. And we have a
So
great,
your editor,
we need
delete all that and
we can do
go,
that.
we're gonna fight and thumbnail this like the biggest fight. I am I am selling my physical silver. And now you're like, what the hell is wrong with you?
Well, for one thing, if you want to trade the price movement of silver, there are a lot cheaper ways to do it than the physical markets.
Hell yeah. Have you ever boxed this stuff up? We're talking like hundreds of thousands of dollars in physical silver.
Right. I mean, so how many hundreds of thousands? No, I am not. I'm telling everybody right now, I am not selling my physical silver. I am not selling my physical gold.
Right. Link in the description if you'd like to purchase it.
We're getting there very soon. Very soon.
Okay.
I mean, why, if you're going to trade it,
See,
why
this is
don't you just do
right.
like
I
SLV
do.
or the options that you talk about?
Okay. Hold on. Let's see if I could share my screen because I knew this was
Okay.
going to come up.
Of course you did.
I just thought maybe possibly this is not so SLV, the not God's money. This is the fake paper. This is where I make my digits go up and down. I'm a swing trader. So
Yes, you are.
and I have these indicators that come on. If I call this the purple nurple. For those of you that are like looking at this, what is this? Each one of these lines is a day. So this is SLV traded on the day. I have software when it gets up into this purple area, that's as high as silver is going to go for now. And then it's going to pull back. So when it came up into the 9, hit 9, and it went right here, I began cashing out of my physical that I had purchased way less than this. So I would like to buy it for 10, sell it for 24, take that profit, wait for pullback, buy more, sell high, buy low, sell high. And my chart, my software that I use is like spot on not every single time, but I mean, when like here, if we go back to, this was March 11, 12, something, a 9 count came on purple, it got rejected, went under my Bravo 9. So you could cash out, buy here, sell here. We're going to have a pullback. It's probably, for those of you that are like, where's silver going? It's probably going to go down to around $22. And I know it's not the physical, blah, blah. I get, I mean, I own it. Okay. So why am I selling physical?
Yes. Why are you
Is
selling? I can understand why you would sell SLV if you were, because you are a day trader. I am not a day trader. Everybody knows I'm a long-term strategist. But why would you sell your physical? Because that's the part that's confusing.
so I can buy more physical at a lower price, and then I'll have a lot more digits to buy more with.
Here's the potential challenge with that. Where we are in the trend cycle, and we already know that there's a huge deficit in silver, right? To
Yep.
supply demand deficit.
And why did it all go down?
Well, what, the spot market? Oh, that's just a
Well,
manipulation.
even selling physical, these shysters, they're like, well, I'll give you $2 under spot. Please, no one go to a coin deal. Oh, that's so bad. Okay, anyway, sorry.
Yeah, don't go to a coin dealer. We're on the street. Hey, little girl.
So you're talking, no, okay, now what you're talking is macro. You're talking
Yes.
like this is the site. I don't do that because I I know where the market is going based on my indicators. So I take price movements and I make more money.
Well,
Or,
wait a minute. You make more of this crap, and it could
well,
be monopoly money for all
okay.
that matters.
Now we're going to argue about money. This is
Let's.
good. Okay.
Okay, so finish
Answer.
your thoughts on the silver though, because I want people to hear this. And
Okay.
by the way, I love. I mean, we're all about educated choices, so I really do believe that you need to listen to a lot of opinions and
Yes.
listen to the one that knows what she's doing.
Correct. I am the devil's advocate.
Okay.
So I will I will play Lucifer right now.
Okay.
Um I love gold. I love silver. I own it.
Oh, you do.
I have it. I have more than, I'm pretty sure, 99.999% of the whole world, but which most people, even watching your show, it's like, do you have one of these? And they're like, well, I was thinking about it. So like people do not have it. And when this thing goes to hell in a handbasket, I mean, oh my gosh, the amount of money that we're then we got to argue, we got to talk money because that's another one. But okay, so why do I do it? Because I want my digits going higher to buy the things that I want, and we're not in a gold. I cannot go to Walmart right now and use this. I can't, because we are not, this is not the monetary system. The money system we are currently using is not this. So
Correct.
I cannot use this for goods and services. So it's not money in the current monetary system that we're in. This is not money. I know this is God's money, and I do know it's money, but not in this debt-based system that we're currently in. But that's why I own it. I sell it at the top. I buy it at the bottom, and I keep doing that. Yeah. So
So what
that
happens?
being said,
Okay, so what happens if you liquidate all your physical? I can
I
understand.
would never do that. I would never liquidate all. I wouldn't do it.
Okay, so you're not liquidating all of your silver. You just enough for why? Because don't you have SLV and don't you have options as well?
Yes. Mhm. So I liquid
Take
because
your
because
physical.
it's such a huge profit. I need to take profit at the top.
So you are
Because
not only confused.
I go from 1 million to 2 million, and then I take that profit of a million and I set that aside, and then I use my other ways that I trade to make even that go higher. And I'm not sitting with gold for a decade. Look, okay, Lynette, how long did gold and poor Peter Schiff get punched in the face? Was it a decade where gold was the same 10 years? I mean, it was like down. I could pull up the charts, but it's like a bear market. It's frustrating. It's down. I don't want to sit underwater for 10 years. I'm too old for this. I want digits going up.
I'm older than you are, and I'm not. Too old for this.
Well, I have six girls, and I have 2 grandkids and another one on the way. So,
Yay.
I got my walker. I got my walker over here. I don't want to sit underwater holding anything. I want to I want my digits to go up to buy the new boat that I just bought, or the Cybertruck that the what is it? Accelerator gets stuck and you go 150 miles an hour and it doesn't stop. But I use that to buy the stuff that I want to buy. And then I could sell the Cybertruck and probably double my money, whatever. I don't know. So I don't sell all of it. I have more than most people, even after I sell it and I double it. And then I take that. It's just making it's like a video game to me. I just make more money every day. Every day might just go up. And I like that. And that's what I teach people to do.
So then you must like inflation.
Yeah, inflation does not affect me.
Dollars that you have to spend, or that the markets go up, or that real estate goes up. Inflation and that manipulation makes things look like they're going up, when in reality, the value is actually going down. We can look at the purchasing power chart. Here's a $10 trillion Zimbabwe note. You know what you can buy with this? Not a boat.
Yeah, I have to beat inflation. Gold wasn't beating it. Silver was not beating it.
Why?
I don't know. I'm looking at the charts. Hold on. It just wasn't. Let me pull the monthly, and even I should have been prepared.
You should have been prepared. But
I mean, what's in?
Let me give you a little lesson from Uncle Al, because we are both educators. I never really thought of myself as an educator, but I get that a lot, so I must be. And that is that tangible assets, real stuff, okay, always go from undervaluation to fair valuation to overvaluation to undervaluation to fair valuation. Look at the opportunity to buy on that chart. That's the time that you accumulate when it is severely undervalued.
Yes, if you would like. But most people get in. You can see. Also, you guys see. I have a feeling everyone sees my side. My one screen, does it pick up all this junk over here? Church, options, YouTube. Does it? Can you see that?
Yeah, but they're so small. I don't.
Okay.
I couldn't read that.
If I had $1 for every time. Okay, so over here, looking at 2011, you are stuck from 11 till 21. That's a decade. That's even more than a decade. 2023. You're at, and I know it's the derivative GLD, but it's still 13 years you're underwater. And I know buy lower. Yes. Okay. So, I need to make an argument. I believe gold is going higher. Okay.
Right. Yeah, technically, although look at that gap.
But I don't want to sit here for this long, from the 2011 to 2023. Finally, you broke even. You didn't keep up with inflation. Gold didn't. Oh my gosh, people are going to hate me. It didn't. You want to know what? Here, I'll show you. I do this every day. I have to check what my trades are. I did an option and I made 31% on one contract. All right, I'll get rid of that email. Okay, so
the purchasing power chart.
Well, the purchasing, look at what's inflation. Inflation's like at fracking 20% a year. This didn't go up 20%. This stayed flat.
Because what you're looking at is a contract, and that's what you deal in is contracts. It's when it goes over to the physical side that it just doesn't make sense to trade out of it. I'm glad to hear that you are not trading out of all of your physical
No,
silver.
I would not do that.
But you also have to understand, well, you don't have to understand it, but truthfully, if you're short-term trading, then yeah, you can go by the technicals and you can buy and sell. The challenge becomes that where we are in this trend cycle, we're in an election year. Maybe they'll let it run all the way through and we won't see a major catastrophe. But we are getting to the point where, kind of like the Lehman moment, I was watching that like a hawk because Lehman was my alma mater. That's where I was a stockbroker when I first started.
Mm-hmm.
I ended up at A.G. Edwards, but that's another story. But the point is that I was watching it like a hawk. And I was as shocked as anybody when they went out after they've been around for 125 years.
Mm-hmm.
This debt bubble is going to take everything down.
Yes, that's actually one of my videos today. I have a bank insider, and it's not looking good at all. And so we're on the same team. And someone's ringing my doorbell. So for everyone who's watching this, I have no dog in this fight. Please be nice. I don't even want to come back. I will come down, scroll in your comment section. It's like, oh gosh, they just chewed me up. So I'm already thinking of everything that they're gonna say.
No, be nice because I think it's important for everybody to hear different. And you'll see, you guys, I'm going to bring people on and we're going to have even bigger arguments than this because there'll be people that are not on the same team. I definitely want you to hear everything to see what makes sense for you and your lifestyle and what you're trying to accomplish.
So yes, if there is a debt bubble that is going to burst, it is horrific. It's unsustainable. The IMF is screaming, Janet, stop. Janet, stop. And Janet, go burr. She's not stopping. This is going to destroy. It's worldwide. And I have another video that I have. Gammon actually showed it. It's like the unrest and the crowds. It's huge. This is globally where politicians say, no, everything's great. But I don't remember paying $8 for an apple. And why did you pay $8 for that apple? So yes, we're on the same team. This is all going to go. It's all going to end. It's great if you have gold and silver, great, but that's not going to save you because if you're in a city, you're going to die. You need to get out of the city. You need to be 1 hour outside of a city because it's not going to be safe and no one's there to protect you. So take your money and get the frack out so you can live. Just a suggestion. But people look at this, or Bitcoin, I call it Bitcoin, which I own. I've owned it since 2017. I've been a big fanatic, which was then everyone that was gold and silver hated Bitcoin. But anyways, I make digits go up.
Mentality if in a certain area.
Well, because people don't understand it. And what people don't understand, they go, no. So they see someone like me and they're like, why would a guy have hair like that? No. Or, what does he know? I do know. I own it. I do that. I just liquidated quite a bit of it and I made my digits go up. Have you ever sold, pallets of silver? Go try it. Let me know how that goes. Let me, gold. How did you sell it? La, la, la. So I'm in the trenches. I'm doing it. I just use it to buy things. And it's not a lottery ticket. Don't think that I'm gonna stack forever and then the end of the world. When the end of the world happens, as the Bible says, you will be throwing your gold and silver out into the streets. It doesn't matter. That's in the Bible. So because I get a lot of people that are like, well, the Bible says, I'm like, that it's gonna be bad. And I'm trying to protect you. I'm trying to protect your family. I do it in a humorous way on my channel. I know that sounds horrible, but that's just
honest God, you have to laugh at some of this stuff, but that's why I developed my mantra. And it goes back to trading, because if you go an hour outside of the city, who do you know there? You have to get established. So the mantra is food, water, energy security, barterability, wealth preservation, which is what gold is for me, barterability, which is what silver is for me. So barterability, wealth preservation, community, which is what you and I are doing right now, and everybody that's watching, and shelter, because these are all the things that we need to sustain a
Yes.
reasonable standard of living. And so you're pointing to physical security, and yeah, we have to be prepared for that.
Yes.
We have to be prepared for all of this.
But that's end of the world. Like what that to me, I don't know when that's the whole thing. Yet mathematically, this all ends. I can show you in 100 different ways. Every AI computer will say, yes, this will end horrifically.
Mhm.
But when, I don't know. So that is why every day I move money, make digits go up, and live the life that I want to live. And hopefully hopefully it doesn't happen in my lifetime.
It will. I
Yeah.
didn't think it was going to happen in my lifetime until 2008. And that's when I started my urban farm and started putting all those mantra pieces together.
Yeah.
And so one of the things that you talk about, and actually it's the same thing. So you don't know the exact moment that it's going to end, but you can certainly see the patterns. And that's one of the things that that's what technicals are about, is recognizing these patterns. You do it short term so that it's trading. I do it longer term so that it's more of a strategy. Because to be honest with you, I don't really have the wherewithal to sit and pay that much attention to my screen. And I've been studying currency life cycles since 1987. So while I can't say it's Tuesday morning at 8:35, it could be, because the central banks, which I want to go here, the central banks are out of tools. And I'm not saying they can't come up with another one. I mean, QE kind of surprised me, honestly, but they're at the end of the purchasing power and they're at the end of the tools. So, and they're overwhelmed. You talk a lot about derivatives. It's not the derivatives that you see that is such a problem. It's the derivatives that you don't see that are the big problem.
Oh, it's quadrillions. Right. Yeah. No. Yeah. When it goes, it's all run.
Right. So how are you going to be able to buy back your silver? Right. We saw what happened in 2020 with the silver short and SLV, changing its prospectus. So, because it couldn't put together enough silver in a basket, we see the shortage that's out there. And you may be selling your silver, but I'm not selling mine. So what happens when you want to get back in? You have to do it before everybody else decides that that's the direction that they want to go in.
Right. But again, I have enough that would, even what I'm not selling in this cycle, I have enough to make people blush. So that's fine. But I will also buy back in low. Like I'm looking at the gold chart, I want to buy it at 160. It's currently at 210, and you're in a zone on the monthly, and you have a trend line. I want it to come back to trend. I will purchase more gold like I do. Okay, now I have a question for you.
Sure.
What is money?
Haha. Money is it's actually four key things, but they're reducing it down to nothing. But it is a tool of measure, so I can work for it, right? And it is a tool of barter. So to your point earlier, and also George went and did some stuff in South America. And so it's a tool of barter. It is a short-term store of value, and it is supposed to be a long-term store of value, but we all know that this is no store of value. It's constantly
Correct. Yes.
losing value. So money is really, it's a tool. It's a tool.
Yeah.
It's a medium of exchange. And it's a
How
tool.
did I know George was out there doing that. What was the quick synopsis of when he was out there trying to barter for silver? I'm assuming it was
Silver, gold, and Bitcoin is what
Yeah.
he's doing. Nobody wanted Bitcoin. Nobody understood gold, and he had the best luck with silver. But part of the problem with that is he went down and he was just talking to people that he didn't know. When he moved into the community that knew him, there was a difference.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's one of the things I mean, community has been part of my mantra for a very long time.
Sure.
But where we are in this trend cycle, really community probably goes to the tippy top of my list.
Okay.
Local. So to your point earlier, you're in a city, there are a lot of people that are in a city, and they better come together in community to support each other through it. They need to get to know their local food purveyors, the farmers that grow, etc. But it is
Yeah, that's
easier.
not going to happen. That's nice. That's a cute dream. I lived in Austin for 2 years.
I'm a
Uh-uh.
dreamer. What can I tell
Yeah,
you?
yeah.
I'm a
No,
dreamer, and I feel like actually a lot of the feedback that I'm getting and really what we're working on this YouTube channel and soon the website, etc.,
yeah,
is helping people create those communities locally. And then dare I say it globally, because again, to your point, oh yeah, they don't want gold as part of the monetary system,
no. You can't
right? Because
print
it creates
it.
restrictions.
Mhm.
However, when all confidence is lost in the currency, and you talk a lot about, inflation expectations and the confidence, and I mean, it isn't what's true that matters, it's what's perceived to be true. But when all confidence in this is gone, like is happening in Zimbabwe and many other
Sure.
places in the
Yeah.
world, and even in the US with high inflation,
Yep.
that they need to put this real money into it to get the confidence back. And I love watching what's happening in Zimbabwe because we're seeing it in real time. It's going to
Sure.
work until
Yeah,
it
but that's not
works.
the dollar. That's different. It's not the dollar. I think the dollar is gonna rocket higher. I know.
Well,
Throw
rocket
rocks at
here
my.
until,
Don't ever come onto a channel and be
huh?
strong dollar.
What? I'm sorry, I missed that.
No, no, the dollar. It's a strong. We actually, as I'm looking at the charts, you're above the 200. It's gonna have a pullback. It's pulling back right now. It's actually a really good time to buy UUP. But then you got to get out, make digits go up. Anywho, I got another question for you. Yeah, I was saying is don't ever say anything good about the dollar. Otherwise, everyone will A, unsubscribe from your channel, or B, there will be death threats. But okay, so in the system we are currently in,
Hmm?
where, in a simple sentence, where does 98% of money come from?
Oh, debt. It's a debt-based system.
But walk me through that.
Well, you go into the easy example that people use is you can walk into the bank, borrow some money, buy a house. That person puts the deposit into the bank from the house
Okay.
and lend out another 10 times whatever is in there. If you,
You're good. You're good. You could stop. Okay.
I
I'll
have
even
to
bring
give
it
you
back
lots of examples,
because
but okay.
because no one knows this. No one knows this. Where does money come from? I walk into a building that has nothing in it. They don't have any money. They don't have any digits. They have nothing. They have a balance sheet of nothing on it because they got to use that. This is just mind blowing me. Now, they used to have reserves. They don't have to have reserves. They don't have to have anything. Zero.
Mhm.
You walk into a building that someone wrote Sharpie Bank on, and you're like, can I borrow $1 million? Well, of course you can. They write you a check for $1 million. Money doesn't even exist. It's fugazi, it's fugazi, and then you have to pay it back with interest. Like that alone is insane.
Yes, it
So
is.
I try to teach people that like when this goes, it's going to be really bad. And then on the flip side of it, you have the government that's doing the same thing. Janet says, hey, let's do $1 trillion of bonds. Well, what is that? Oh, it's a sheet of paper that says bond on it. Does anyone want to buy it? That's crazy. They don't have to have anything. They just create a sheet of paper that says bond on it and they issue it. Who buys it? Oh, lo and behold, your bank, Chase, that you deposit your Fugazi into, they buy it with your money.
Yep.
That's mind blowing that they're taking your money, buying the bond, giving it to Janet. Oh, so the whole thing is not real. There is not any money.
Ponzi
It
scheme.
doesn't exist. It is only debt. Debt doesn't even exist. What does exist is you have to pay it back with interest. the whole thing. And then someone says, well, I don't believe in Bitcoin. Well, it's a lot better than nothing, like a debt-based system. So I am playing their debt-based system. I know their system. And I know Jerome Powell. I mean, I don't know Jerome Powell. And I know what his system does. He does nothing. He just has a balance sheet. Jerome can't go burr. The Fed doesn't go burr. The Fed doesn't create money. I just explained to you, and so did you, how money is created. Jerome wasn't even a part of that. He just has a balance sheet, and the Fed just loans. They're lending, lend. And the banks in the whole game, the Ponzi scheme of lend until someone's like, do you have anything? And they need the pristine collateral. Then anyways. So are we on, am I wrong? Am I off at all on this?
We are on the same page. Let's take it one little step further. What supports money? The full faith and
Believe. Yeah, you got to believe it.
Of the government. Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what supports it, is the government's ability to borrow more. So when you see a central bank borrowing or buying or Chase, to your point, or any of the banking system, buying that debt, that enables the government to borrow even more. And then if they push its nominal value, and I ought to come back to that dollar thing that you said. Right.
Oh gosh, I got to pull up my dollar chart. One moment, please.
Oh, yes, please pull up your dollar chart. Let's do that.
Okay.
But as long as you trust the government, and that's the key, it's that confidence piece. And what rapid inflation does is it erodes that confidence. And so it's holding on by this. But when you talk about a strong dollar.
No, it's not. It's not holding on by this. The whole world's doing it. If you can make money out of nothing, that's going to be amazing. And everyone's going to fall for it. And they did. You're not taking that away. It's too ingenious from the devil, because that's the only way I could think this thing was created, because it's insane. Sorry. Insane. But I think dollar go up.
Show me how strong the dollar is.
Okay, I'll show you.
Okay.
Against the other baskets of dirty shirts.
Exactly. That is the point. It is just a relative value against other currencies.
Lynette, you're preaching to the choir.
Totally. Well, preaching to the choir, but you were the one that brought up the strong dollar. I have purchasing power, because here's this $10 trillion Zimbabwe note. It doesn't matter how many zeros you have. It could be 10 quadrillion, but nobody will accept it because it has no purchasing power value. And frankly, that's the piece, unless you're trading to get.
Lynette, it's not Zimbabwe. It's there's a big difference between Zimbabwe and the dollar. The dollar is the reserve world currency out of thin air that everyone uses. So you can't cherry pick. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. You just keep going. I can't help it.
You're cherry picking a stupid currency. So I get it. This is the dollar. Everyone around the entire world. When have we even had this? Never. Like that you could just say, I would like free money. Anywho, on the chart, and then we can get back to screaming at each other. Go ahead. Do you want to defend you? I'm sorry.
No, I'm only using Zimbabwe because they're doing some very interesting things these days, particularly with gold. What they brought out a 1 ounce gold coin that only the elites could afford to buy. Then they backed their CBDC with gold, but you couldn't convert into the gold. So, and now they've put a component of gold in the new Zimbabwe dollar that is a basket of currencies, kind of like the IMF's SDR. Will the public trust them if you can't convert into the underlying real asset? And by the way, what are all those percentages?
So yes, I would never I actually did a story yesterday, the day before. This woman found all of her parents' money. They passed away and it was 20 years and they found all the money. It's just stacks of cash and it's all worthless. Like all of their savings, all of their retirement, because you don't say, you don't do that. Like imagine if she would have saved in silver or in gold, she would have retained her purchasing power. Okay. But now we're talking dollar. We
Yeah,
are talking
let's
the
keep talking
entire,
about it.
yeah. Okay. Back to dollar. You can't use other, you can for the argument. That's fine. But we're talking about the entire world is in love with dollars and the entire world owes their debt. Yes, they do. I travel all over the world and they take my dollar. That is unheard of. And not just that, all of these world countries, people owe their debt back in the dollar, which makes it a whole nother beast. Like they are so interlocked, they're so chained to the dollar.
Mhm.
So then I come here and I'm like, it's a strong dollar. I know, don't throw rocks. So now let me share my screen. Sorry. Um, this is a channel going up. This
Mhm.
is the dollar since 2007.
Mhm.
This is showing me strength. When you tag the top, it's going to pull back. The dollar will drop. But this is like a tag, tag, tag. That's how you find out a channel, top and bottom. We are currently, I also use the 200-day moving average.
Mhm.
That's the yellow one. I like buying things right when they pop above the 200 and then I sell up here. Like if I showed you a silver chart, you'd be like, oh, okay, that makes sense. Buy low, sell high. The dollar is above the 200 daily moving average right now in a channel going up. I see a strong dollar, which is insane to say, but we are still, even when I move it to a lower time frame, and I will move that. That was actually a good swing, but you're going to have a pullback. Watch when I turn on my sweet little Bravo kit. Is that the right one? Okay. It comes up here. This is my swing trade. I'm going to turn on candles so people can see how I do this. It goes boom, one candle closed right there, and I write it all the way up. I may take some profit right here when the purple comes on, but it was another swing. My 789 came up just like it did on silver, but no nine. Nine is the highest it'll go, and then you'll get a little symbol like that. That means it's going to pull back, which it did. You're at a top on the dollar. It's going to pull back. I would actually be picking up UUP. This is DXY. The tradable symbol is UUP. I would be picking up UUP at where at this pullback UUP. This was actually also this little box.
That box is showing a gap, right?
That's a gap.
So could you explain about gaps? Because it's something that I do talk about when I look at the charts and I see a gap.
Okay, so it gapped down. Now on major indices, almost 100% of the time.
What that is for people that don't know it, gapping down.
Yeah. So on December 14th, it went and it fell all the way down to the December 18th down here to $27. So it gapped down from almost $29 all the way down to $27. This is almost a guarantee that this is going to fill. So that means it has to go back up to 28 or 29, which it did. Also, my indicators, my 789 came on. That is the lowest the dollar is going to go. And then it is going to bounce. And it did. And it rocketed higher. Now we're at a 789 UUP. So do not be buying UUP right now because you're buying high. I would wait for a bounce on this yellow line. That's the 200. But you already missed your price movement on that gap getting filled. You could have made money. But again, that's what I do all day long.
And and everybody has to decide what's right for them. What are their goals, right? So there are a lot of people that are doing the day trading. And so if you want to use that to gain some of these things, convert
digits to the digits, just digits. But you don't have to day trade, Lynette. You can come onto your computer once a week and click a button. There's certain things that you're like, oh, look, it's a reversal. The 9 came on. I'm going to buy. And then you come back. You could trade on the monthly, the daily. I trade every day because I like my digits going up more. But you don't have to. Like,
And and again, it's all about establishing your goals. What are you trying to create? What are your goals? You can have short-term goals, medium-term goals, long-term goals, and then you build your portfolios or whatever it is that you're going to do around those goals to support them.
well, why are you building a portfolio for what?
Well, for me, I'm building a portfolio because I'm quite clear that this is a currency life cycle issue. And I'm
Mhm.
also quite clear on what happens as we transition from one monetary system into another monetary system. And as we're transitioning, not only do I want to sustain a reasonable standard of living, hence my mantra, hence my farms, hence my bug out location, but I also want to be in a position because what I know 100% is a rising gold price is an indication of a failing currency. So when you were looking at the spot gold chart, really what you're seeing is suppression because the central banks and governments don't really want you to know what's going on. Let's face
No,
it, they don't. They
and they'll
won't.
short it. They'll short
Exactly.
it. The last dump on silver, I could pull it up. I saw the biggest volume, and I knew it was coming. And my indicators were like 7, 8, 9, and boom, they hit that thing and the last time they did it, I can go back in the charts, was years ago, and silver could not recover. And it was such a big hit. And they can do it because they have all of the chips. So, and they have all the fake and the
But
derivatives. They're like, they can click any button, they can click any button at any amount and just destroy gold and silver, not the physical, but the paper and into oblivion. But the physical does follow it. I mean, not totally, but it when it yeah.
this bullion or just raw, this is just a little raw lib, right? This is just an ounce of gold. It is pre-33, but it's just an ounce of gold. That's all it is. There's nothing particularly special about it. That does have a tendency to follow the spot market more.
Yeah.
This, which is the physical only market, is a completely different market. This is where it's truly reflected supply and demand, not in the spot markets.
Okay. Oh, you're saying like a collectible kind of
That is,
sealed.
that is physical only.
So
You
so
have to
this
get super rare.
so this thing follows more GLD
Correct.
than if they were to mint this and seal it. Now let's talk.
Well, not now, because the new stuff, to your point earlier, that this is not recognized, it is growing in states, but this is not utilized for the tool of barter, right?
No.
This was created to be the tool of barter. So if they slab new stuff, honest to God, it's just to get a premium that the wholesalers won't pay for.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So, oh, Mint State 70. Well, yeah, it wasn't created to be in circulation. But this stuff pre-33 at any size, this is what, a $5 gold piece. This is $1. Well, teeny weeny little thing.
Yeah.
Those and those were equal, but these things were created to be in circulation. So if they don't have blemishes, if they've never been out in circulation,
Yeah.
this one in circulation. This one never been in circulation.
What's the value of that?
Honest to God, I don't really know at the moment, but I would say, I mean, I'm guessing nobody hold me to this, period.
I don't think they've made it this far. Honestly, they probably got so frustrated by listening to me blab. They're like, I cannot take this guy any longer. Why did you have him on?
Because this is fun. That is why. And I would say this is probably somewhere maybe 3,500, maybe 4,000. I mean, I really don't know, but it's going to be substantially above this.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
That makes sense.
Right. And the more rare you get, see with the paper, gold and silver, they can create as much of it as they want, which is why it's so cheap and easy. If you're going to trade it, then I typically tell people to go there or to go to the options because it's easier and it's a lot cheaper to trade. Personally, I just don't have that mentality. I had the license.
I should fly over there. We sit down. Oh, you click a button, you click another one. You're like, wow, that's a lot of digits.
I, I know I have done that, but also, I'm going to be really honest with everybody out there, which I always am anyway. It's part of my integrity. I really don't think that for long term that trading makes any sense because I know it does for short term. And guess what? I've been watching Bitcoin since it was $7 a coin. Right. So I've been watching it for a very, very long time, shortly after it came out. And, did I miss a run? Sure. Do I care? No, because I've been focusing on the food, water, energy, security, barterability, wealth preservation, community, and shelter, because I don't have 6 girls, but I have 2 and I have grandbabies. And that's really who I'm positioning all of my wealth for.
Hmm.
I am just a long-term strategist. It's just the way I look at things.
Okay.
But
Yeah. Not me.
not everybody does, and that's
Yeah.
okay.
No, I don't want, I'll give my kids some, but you can go on my boat. That's what I'm
I
trying to
don't
do.
have
I'm
a
trying to
boat.
live I'm trying to, yeah, I wouldn't recommend it unless you live on the water. I live on the water. So when you live on the water, it's nice to be able to surf behind a boat when you're done filming.
Right.
But like, I want to live my best life. I'm not trying to, I mean, I will preserve for my kid. They'll be fine.
If you have gold and silver, they're going to be fine as long
Yeah.
as you have all the rest of that stuff.
But I want them working. They need to trabajar and make their own life. I
Yes.
don't give my kids, there was no allowance. There was no, you want clothes, get a job. You want clothes, sell candy at school. And I've had, these girls are super successful too. And not because
Yeah.
of me, probably because I was horrible.
That'll
I was
work.
like the horrible parent that didn't give them anything. And they're like,
Like,
now they're just hustle mania and they can't stop. And that's my problem too. But yeah,
well,
anyways.
one of the things that you brought up, and I think it's important for us to discuss, and that is the dollar and the dollar's importance in the global financial system. Because to your point, we've been the world reserve currency, although I've traveled a lot too, and nobody seems to want my dollars outside of the US. I have to convert to other currencies to transact unless I use a credit
A
card.
card. Yeah, I use a card.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
I'm not going over there like with my currency. I'm
Okay.
just like they asked, do you want dollar or do you want, and I'm like, dollar is fine.
Okay. Well, but what we're also seeing happen, not just with the BRICS, but in general, we have really abused that power. And so we are watching a new digital plumbing system, financial system throughout the world. Because even though we're watching deglobalization, and I was there with the start of the globalization in the 80s as a new stockbroker, but now, the supply chains, et cetera, we're watching deglobalization everywhere but the monetary system. So what do you think is going to happen when that new plumbing is in place? Because frankly, we have pissed everybody off, and we have at least let everybody know that if you don't do what we want, boom, you are cut out of the system, which didn't really work very well. So that test was failed. But so how do you address that? And how that relates to the dollar and the dollar's value on the global market?
I have enough wisdom to know the answer to this. I have no idea. I have no idea. There's so many levers. It's like, what you even look at what is even a recession? Well, it never exists because we'll just say two negative prints doesn't equal a recession. Or when, like, Or the government decides, you know what, let's print a lot of money. And now look, GDP's up. And let's hire a lot of government workers. And GDP's up. And people are like, look, we're not in a recession. That's because half of the economy is government. Like, what are you talking about? Businesses are gone. Everything's gone. UPS numbers just came out today, down 30% revenue, down, everything down. And they're like, well, GDP's up, or like, oh, it's how do you want to cook the books? They're lying to you.
Right.
Oh, illegal immigration. They're like, look at all this, look at all these people getting jobs. No, they're not. It's all part-time. Everyone's losing their full-time jobs, you idiot. And immigration's flooding like never seen before. That's the only thing that's going up, and part-time jobs. And so we have a good, strong GDP. So to answer your question, I have enough wisdom to say, I don't know, because there's too many damn levers and too many elites controlling this entire system. I can tell you, though, that they're going to come out on top, and the middle class is going to be wiped out, and the bottom class is gone. The middle class is already gone. And that's why I try to get people to go like, can your digits double? You know, like, let's just keep going. Double, 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 or whatever. And that's my thing. And live your life and everyone happy.
Well, I mean, part of what you say makes a lot of sense, and doubling your digits only works as long as we are not in a hyperinflationary position. And
you can't get into a hype. You can't.
and I know
If
you're going to make that face, aren't you, Adam? Because he goes, where does she look the ugliest? That's the one.
You can't have hyperinflation when money, which you agreed with me, 98% of money is created in the banking system and is only debt with interest. How do you have hyperinflation? Now, Janet is getting pretty damn close. Whatever she's doing over there, creating bonds. Okay, I'll give you, again, another lever, because there's so many damn levers in this thing. It's like, that's having an effect. But a dollar is debt that gets extinguished when you pay off debt.
Yeah.
It has to be loans. All money is loans. Are people going out there and getting loans? No. So is there inflation? No, but yes. And I believe it's coming from Janet, but I'm not a genius. I'm just a YouTuber, and I do my best to put things together. So I do not, in the current plumbing, I cannot see hyperinflation for the dollar. I cannot see it.
Okay. And I clearly, and I would, definitely say that we have begun that trek, because to your point earlier, this is a con game, and it only works as long as the public has confidence in the dollar, in the system, in those that are in charge. And I know I keep bringing up Zimbabwe, but that's the problem over there. And
that's not the dollar.
Problem.
That's not the dollar. You can't use it. We're talking dollars. Zimbabwe is just a bunch of idiots printing, and they actually print. They're like, look, sheets of paper is money. Like, maybe not the debt dollar kind of thing, but the debt dollar is a whole nother, very difficult to get hyperinflation, because you need to go get loans, and people aren't getting loans. So you don't have hyperinflation, but I could be wrong because I'm an idiot.
Well, I'm not going to say you're wrong because you're an idiot. I might say you're wrong because I've studied currency life cycles, and that's how it works. It only lasts. And I've been watching the levels of confidence in the system decline and decline and decline. And rapid inflation erodes that even more. Do you think they're going to hit their 2% target?
It's not. Yes, they're going to hit 2%, because it won't be 2%. It'll be 20% because they're lying.
Right. Well, that's what they just, I'm telling you, you can't make some of this stuff up. I saw Fed Chair Powell in front of the Senate Banking Committee say, well, if people believe that we only have 2% inflation, then we only have 2%. I'm like, oh my God.
I know.
When you go to the gas pump.
In California, it's $7.
Right? And people have to fill their cars up to get to work, unless they're doing, they're working out of their homes. They're going to see that. They go to the grocery store once, twice a week, and they're going to see that price increase too. So Janet Yellen just doesn't understand why the normal public just doesn't get that everything is so hunky-dory.
Nope.
I'm pretty sure she hasn't been to the gas station or the grocery store in a while either.
But for the most people that are watching this, get out of cities, get out of California. I left California 3.5, 4 years, three. Best move ever. Gas out here, but I have 2 electric cars, which I'm an idiot. I already agree. Is $3, two something. And I know California is like 7. And I'm like, leave. Go to a place that doesn't have state tax. Go to a place that doesn't tax you to death in the gas. Like, that's your stupidity. If you want to, if you want to stay, go to New York. That's you, man. But when I'm telling you, when this thing goes,
Yeah.
it's there. Yeah, I don't care how many friends you have around you. It's going to go bad, and it's going to be to each their own. And right now, everyone knows you can rob a place every day for $950 and no jail time, nothing. No, probably no slap on the wrist. You can do that every single day, $1,000 a day, and not be in trouble. I mean, you could walk by a cop and they're like, oh, well, it's
crazy. So tell me how you really feel.
Frustrated now. Now I need a drink.
Oh, there you go. But
now I got to film my video. Now I'm upset and I got to film my video, and everyone's
just going to make your video better. You just warmed up here. Now you're going to give your audience, and your viewers a real treat.
Yes. And now I got to take
very
my
entertaining
blood pressure.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was fun. I was hoping this is what I wanted. So that was good. I'm very happy.
I'm glad to hear that. And I need to ask you if there's anything, because we were kind of like all over the place, but it was so much fun. Is there anything that you really want to impart to our viewers? And I also want you to tell everybody how to find you.
All right. Drive to Texas and scream really loud. What do I want? I want, well, if you type in Johnny Bravo, there's me, or Jay Bravo, that'll work. So that's great. I would love to have, nice people on my channel. And as long as you're okay with sarcasm, because I'm sarcastic.
No.
Yeah, a little bit. And I'm willing to say I'm wrong too. So I'm an honest guy, just telling, I think this is probably the best way for you. Maybe not. I don't know. But what I want them to do is, if they don't own gold or silver, don't be an idiot. Click in her link, not mine. I will never have that. I can't have it because I have to stay true to what I believe in.
Right.
I want you to go to her link and buy one, because you need to have at least one or have both of them. And maybe even if you feel splurge, you go get some Bitcoin. But that's, don't buy my courses. Don't buy any of my stuff. Just come hang out. We'll have a good time. At some point, I'm like chlamydia. I'll grow on you and we'll all be okay. So that's it.
Well, this has just been so much fun. Thank you so much for being here today. I'm sure everybody, all the viewers, be nice, because we want to make sure that everybody's voice gets heard, and everybody needs to decide for themselves what works the best. So we are growing this channel as quickly as we can. We're going to catch up to you, Jay Bravo, and then we're going to go even further because we're on a mission. We are on a major mission. So if you want to show us support, give us a like, leave a comment, but be nice. Share, and make sure that you hit that subscribe button and that bell so we let you know when we are posting another important video, because it's important to understand what's going on from a trader's perspective or a strategy perspective. And you can do one, you can do both, you can do the other, whatever really fits your goals, because honestly, we're almost there where you can actually talk to us in real life and actually buy gold and silver from us. We're not quite there yet, but pretty soon you'll be able to go to LynetteZang.com and see a countdown clock, because we picked the date. So we're getting ready for you. And Jay Bravo, thank you
Okay.
so much for being here today. This was just great fun, and we'll have to have you back on because I like it. I don't like yes people. I like people that have a strong opinion, and you do.
Thank you, Lynette. Yeah, I hope I wasn't too spicy, and you're great too. I had a lot of fun. So please, whenever, however, this was good. We'll get down into the weeds, and hey, maybe I'll change. Maybe I'll be like, you know what, Lynette, I thought about that. You're right. What am I doing here? And I'll change.
Maybe you will say that. Who knows? But Arizona's right next to Texas.
Yep.
So yeah, I could, but yeah, if you come to Phoenix, then definitely you'll have to come to this farm and maybe even the bug out, and I'll
Okay.
blow your mind.
All right, you got it. All right. Thank you so much for having me on.
Thank you. And to all of our viewers, I hope you enjoyed this and had as much fun as I did. And until next we meet, just remember, together we can really make a positive difference. Take care. Bye-bye.